Hey, what's up everyone? If you're new around here, then I'm Sam. I've spent the last 10 years building multi-million pound companies, trying to get myself in amazing shape, having a wife, a family, I play guitar, play in a band. Life is busy and I know it's the same for you. So within the last 2 years, I've lost a ton of weight and I've finally got in decent shape. I neglected my health so much when I was younger, so much because all I was doing was working and figuring out how to make money. And then for a period of time, all I was doing was like trying to grow a family and figure that bit out while doing the business. And now both have been in a really stable position. I kind of got to the point where I was fully burnt out. I had no energy left and I was like, well, what is left to give? And I was like, oh yeah, I should probably stop being a fat shit. So I lost about 50 pounds, improved my health no end, obviously, and my mental state just by feeling way better. So you best believe after doing all of that, I am not going to risk messing it up. So 2026, there's a big year planned. Obviously, summer feels like it's hopefully right around the corner, but maybe not quite. But I've definitely got a few holidays booked and I've got a plan in mind to make sure I keep myself in check and stay in shape for this whole year and hopefully get in even better shape as well. So we're just going to run straight into this. I'm going to break down exactly what my go-to diet is and how I'm going to be nailing this. So firstly, have you heard of the 80-20 rule? This is something I absolutely love. It was actually groundbreaking for me when I first discovered the book. Richard Koch it is, 80-20 rule. Obviously the principle's been around forever, but his book in particular made it really real for me. So when it comes to eating and it comes to diet, when I say referring to the 80-20 rule, what I mean is I'm happy if I nail it 80% of the time. You know, 20% of the time you've got to expect you're going to have some weekends off, you're gonna have some holidays here and there, but the point is to stay focused most of the time, not have this mindset where you've got to be perfect all the time, otherwise screw it, what's the point, I'll just binge eat and go nuts. Like, be happy with the fact that you're nailing that 80% and it gives you the grace for the 20% off. Okay, so first things first is nailing your calories. This is dead easy. I have tried everything under the sun. I've used all the calculators. The absolute best thing I've ever come across is Greg O'Gallagher, his Kino Body, his calculations he uses, right? And I've got them here, so I'll just read them out to you. 12 times your goal body weight in pounds would be aggressive fat loss. So that's now, if you've got to lose over 20 pounds, that's what you want to go for. Moderate fat loss would be 13 times your body weight, your target body weight in pounds. And 15 is your maintenance. 16 would be a lean bulk, but we're not going to go there. So 13 or 15 is going to cover most of you, right? So let's say you are 180 pounds right now and you're thinking, I could probably lose 10 pounds, take 170, times it by 13, that's how many calories. For me, moving forward, once I've got these last few weeks of dieting out of the way, my plan is to literally hit maintenance for the rest of the year. Now, I am currently weighing just over 160 pounds and I want to get down to around 156. That will be me in like kind of where I want to be, peak condition. So 156 times 15, 2,340. Okay, so that is going to be my calories going forward. So there's two ways you can deal with these calories. I think when you're on a cut, I quite like, let's say I've got to have like 1850 calories a day. I quite like multiplying that by 7, seeing how many I've got for the week, giving myself a few more on Saturday and Sunday. So I might eat like 2,300 on Saturday, 2,300 on Sunday, and then whatever remains, I'll split that up across the other 5 days. It just means if you want to go out for dinner on a Saturday or something like that, you can fast for a bit in a day and have a nice meal. When it comes to maintenance, I think it's much easier to just stick with the calories every single day. 2,300 calories, 2,340 for me, that's enough, right? I can have whatever I want for me in a day. And so I'll just keep it totally the same. So the next step then for me is working out my meals. Now I keep this so simple and this really makes it so much easier. If you have a few meals that you just repeat for most days, it makes life so easy. So I know for a fact, right, one meal I have all the time is a yogurt bowl. So I get either 0% skyr, 0% Fage, and I'll do like 400 grams of that, which is a lot of food, right? And you've got 400 grams is 200 calories roughly of like skyr or Fage, maybe a little bit more, and you're getting 40 grams of protein. Then I'll top that with some fresh fruit, whatever's around, usually like 100 grams or so of fruit, and I'll chuck on like a little bit of granola, very little bit, don't need loads, and a little bit of honey. And that is like a mega meal it always comes in under 500 calories. It's always between 400 and 500 depending on, you know, like the fruit and whatever I top it with. And it's 40 grams of protein. Off the bat, I've started the day amazingly. Next up, I'll usually do some kind of either like a gym kitchen ready meal or something like that, you know, from like a prep company, but like from a supermarket or from a shop, because there's loads of their meals. I know they're probably not the most nutritious thing as eating like whole foods, but when I'm busy and I'm working a lot, it's so much easier for me to just grab like a chicken, mashed potato and greens ready meal and know it's like 450 calories and it's got a ton of protein and some veg with it. Then I've got over 1,000 calories left to play with for dinner and a few hundred calories spare for either a dessert or some snacks throughout the day. I literally structure every one of my days like that. I have a few little rules in my head that I stick with, which is I try not to snack in the day because I know I'm going to want those calories in the evening. I'm just going to want them on like chocolate or crisps or whatever while I'm sitting around doing some work or watching TV. So I'll try and hit like a 500 calorie breakfast, which breakfast for me is like 11 o'clock to midday. Then I'll hit like a 500 calorie meal around like maybe 3 or 4 o'clock, and then maybe have dinner at like 6 or 7 and something for dessert after. And for me, that just works perfectly. And if I get to a weekend and I'm planning to go out to like a nice restaurant or somewhere where I think it's going to be a few more calories, I'll just skip the meal in the middle. And it's like, I'll just have a yogurt bowl, or I'll have like, you know, some eggs and sourdough, whatever, same calories. And then maybe I'll have like a little protein snack. I'll have like a little protein yogurt, or I'll have like a couple of apples or something, just something to tie me over. So then I end up with like 1,500 calories for my evening meal, which for me usually would be like a big ribeye steak, some chips, some veg, maybe a peppercorn sauce, and a couple of old fashions or a couple of glasses of wine. Perfect Saturday, mate. Absolutely nailed. You can do that stuff forever. The hack there, by the way, is not just copying what I've said and done. It's figuring out what are those repeatable meals for you, what works for you. So you might be able to do it way better than me, right? Because maybe you've got a bit more patience when it comes to meal prep. I can't meal prep. I can't be bothered. It's just not in my nature to do it. I did it for 12 weeks when I was really dieting, and it's not something I can build into my lifestyle, right? The yogurt bowl is amazing because it requires no cooking. Boom. The ready meal is amazing because if I'm at home, I can usually, in fact, if I'm at home, I usually wouldn't have a ready meal. I'd usually have like leftovers or do something like that. But I can have them stockpiled in the freezer. And if I'm at my office, then it's easy to run over to the supermarket and grab one. And I know I'm not off piece. And I quite like having a hot meal, especially when it's in like the winter months. Then it means I don't ever have to say no to family dinners. So if Megan says, look, I'm cooking this for like us and the kids, are you having it? It's always a yes, because it's like spaghetti bolognese. It's like, yeah, but can you just please do it with 5% mince? And like just making it easy, you know? And lastly, if I do have something big planned, whether it be like a party, a wedding, a holiday, a weekend away, whatever it is, I'm gonna make sure I earn it. And I like earning it up front, because then you have no need to beat yourself up about it while you're doing it, and you're also not pulling the elastic band so tight that when you get over that weekend, it snaps and you end up just falling off the wagon and thinking, oh, I had this terrible meal on Friday, I might as well just not bother until Monday now. That doesn't happen, right? Because you just lock in. If you're going out on a Friday and a Saturday night, you're going away for like a couple of nights with the missus or whatever it is, earn it. Wednesday and Thursday, you think, right, Friday, Saturday, I'm going to be having some high calories and I'm going to be having some nice food, and I'm probably not going to have time to get to the gym. So what am I going to do? I'm going to up my steps to 15,000. I'm actually going to skip lunch, you know? I'm going to drop my calories down like 500 a day. I'm just going to lock in and just really shred down for those 2 days. I'm going to hit the gym sessions hard, might even make sure I've got time to hit the sauna after, and you're just going to absolutely crush it. And then you go into Friday and you're just like, boom, I'm scot-free. I've saved up the extra calories. I've done the extra workout. You can do it. It doesn't matter what the scale says Sunday, Monday, because you know mathematically you've been on point, and you can just crack on and do it and not go through that whole self-deflating process of beating yourself up just for having a good time. And probably the most important part in all of this is I'm going to stick to it. I'm actually going to stick to it. I think that's where a lot of people fall down. They make a plan, they see the scale go up a little bit, and they think, oh, it's not working, or, you know, they'll start researching other workout plans. They think, oh, I've got to change my diet, I've got to change this, I've got to change that. No, I've done the work. I've figured it out. I know where my calories should be. I've proven that. It's done. I'm locked in on the workouts. They're working. It's done. Stay the course. Just imagine if a ship, every time it had to adjust for something over a long period of time, it made these huge swings. Like, it would go thousands of miles off course, when really all you needed to do was just nudge yourself back on track. It hasn't got to be these huge, gargantuan changes. So that's it. It's got to be so simple. I'm literally going to lock into those meals. I'm going to double down on them and just see what happens, man. I think it's going to be a wicked year. There's going to be so much fun stuff, and I'm excited to try and not just maintain, but make use of those maintenance calories and get stronger in the gym, get fitter, and just crush it. What are you doing? What's your plan for the year? What are you trying to do? You're trying to lose some weight? You're trying to stay where you are? You're trying to get a bit stronger? What is it? Drop me a comment. If you want to go follow me on Instagram as well, you can drop me a message on there. I'm way up for the chat, so just give me a message and I'll totally hit you back. But yeah, nice one, guys. Listen, have a great one. I'll catch you in the next video.